I'm Muhammad, I'm a prophet because I said so. I have this hairy mole right on my shoulder, you know. And my bestest buddy Allah, he works for me though. I call him God to make you think I'm pure as white snow. In the damp cave of Hira I met this bad man. He squeezed me until I threw up the Koran. When I ran to Khadija in anguish and fears, she explained, "This is Jibreel," and wiped off my tears. I'm Muhammad, I'm a prophet because I am him, and Allah caters to my needs and every whim. His reward is that I let people think he is Lord. Then he lets me torment the people when I get bored. Now the world must revert and become just like me, and never ask questions and never be free. You'll become dumb blind Muslims and do as you're told, or your heads will be rolling your family's soul. Oh, Aisha, ooh la la, what a pretty dress. May I wear it? Your dresses get those revelations rolling. No, don't touch my eye makeup. Mine is too young for makeup. I'm 54 after all. My religion, Islam, grew like fungi on bread, due to people's reluctance to part with their head. And because I got rid of the people who think Allah's slaves can be duped to do things that sure stink. I'm Muhammad, I'm a prophet because I said it. I meet up with Jibreel when I'm in need of you. I'm my bestest buddy, Allah delivers on time. These girls and boys and slaves and all these riches of mine. I'm Muhammad, I'm a prophet because I told you. My brothel in the sky awaits if you say it's true. But if Allah will find out in the mosque you did fart, He'll dump you in the hellfire when you depart. He'll dump you in the hellfire when you depart. Oh, Aisha, I still feel the pain after the food I ate in Khaybar. Allah is cutting my aorta.
Allah is a false god, a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god, a false god. Allah is a false god, a false god. And Muhammad is not a prophet. Muhammad is not a prophet. If you want grace and mercy and love, Islam is not for you. But Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the King of Kings who died to save us all. If you just repent and believe He took your sins on the cross, then mercy and grace, forgiveness and love, eternity can be yours.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Hallelujah. Let Lord Jesus Christ shine forth. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us. Welcome. How are you doing, David?
Good.
There is funny gush sound from you coming.
What's that?
There is funny gush sound is coming in the background.
What do you mean whoosh sound?
Like, I don't know, funny sound is coming.
I have a fan on. I don't know if that's it.
Okay.
I could cut that off. It's good.
No, it's good. I don't
know. For some reason, when the heat is turned on, this room gets significantly hotter, and so this room just gets the hottest in the house for some reason.
That's okay. What's happening, David? We were doing live stream, and it titled as TikTok guys are going after you.
Yeah, it's
You're a reasonable person.
Yeah, they came up with the brilliant plan of trying to cancel me and blacklist me. So that's what they're at. They're trying to cancel me. Yeah, they never tried that before, like every single year for the past 20 years.
Oh, you.
But Malik's different. Like, Hijab couldn't do it. None of these guys could do it. But Malik, he's the one who can get the job done because he's an ex-rapper.
Malik is the guy who shared that inappropriate things on the TikTok. Is that guy?
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy who exposed the Warner and Sneeko and Adam Saleh and Slim and Muslim Lantern and Orthodox Lips and all these guys for all the messed up stuff they're doing behind the scenes. And then we pointed it out. Apparently, he thought he could bring this stuff up, and then they would all back down from him and never criticize him again. And then things would just move on. And he apparently didn't realize that the internet is forever. And once you blab this stuff, then it's out there, and people are going to use it to expose what these guys are really like. And he threw a big tantrum and decided that he would now start, threatening people and going after people's wives and so on. And so he's getting a crash course. He's getting a crash course on basic etiquette. But we'll teach him. He's clearly slow of learning. He has a huge ego problem. But we'll teach him. We'll teach him.
Cousin marriage or maybe not?
What about cousin marriage?
Does he have like low IQ? Like, is he a result of cousin marriage or his convert?
I don't know his background, but he does seem stupid enough. But there are other causes of being stupid, so it's too close to call right now.
Okay, well, be careful. I don't know what to say. I know I need to say something.
Careful. Careful's my middle name, just like yours. That's why they call you Hatun Careful Tosh.
I know, like, I need to say something pastoral, but that's what I said. So just eat more Qurans. You will become untouchable. Okay, so what I thought we talked about tonight is on a serious note. Not that like you are getting threat stuff. That's not that serious, but there are other individuals are putting up videos and discussing about their Muslim brothers and what their Muslim brothers are.
Oh, hang on.
Is that?
Oh, sorry about that. 1 second. People pointed out that my mic is different. Yeah, from when AP was here. Hang on. So this is a different program, so we had to switch the mics. But check. Is that better? Does that sound different?
Yeah, Mohammed
Okay.
is false. Okay, so I don't get to hear the fan now.
Oh, that's why you heard the fan. Yeah. My camera's up here, so it's right beneath the fan. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Yeah. Now there's a fancy Shure mic. That's the little microphone on my tiny little webcam there. So
Okay, so it's all fixed. Good.
there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you for people who pointed that out.
Good. Thank you. So it sounds like you are using Ecamm when you move to the StreamYard. Just changes thing. You need to adjust.
Well, I use Ecamm for my live streams, and AP uses StreamYard. So we switched the mic on both programs, and so I thought that I wasn't paying attention, so I switched it on Ecamm, but then I had to switch it on StreamYard as well.
Okay, so there's a gentleman called Jack the Metaphysician who is planning your Janazah stuff for the debate. So
he's in a difficult spot right now because he wants to debate me and AP. We're scheduled to debate at DebateCon, and he wants to debate. He wants to address these topics, but Malik has declared himself like the king of all dawah, and he makes all the decisions, and he's having his fans go after Jake, telling Jake that he has to cancel the debates. And so I offered advice at the end of my last live stream, just saying, hey, if you want to do it, try to do it quickly so that James can actually arrange something. Otherwise, he's going to be in a difficult spot. I said, other than that, I don't care if you, it doesn't affect me if you cancel now or cancel, like, I guess it would affect like travel plans. It would affect me if he like backed out like the day of the debate, because then I will have traveled for nothing and so on. So it would slightly affect me if he waited until the right before the debate. But but as far as Jake is concerned, Jake's under a ton of pressure right now, not in the Zut sense, but he's under a ton of pressure to back out of the debates. He doesn't want to. Other people want him to. So we'll see what happens.
And reason for that is, what did you do? What they
Well,
make you to do?
yeah. So the reason the reason Malik is demanding that Jake cancel the debates is because after Malik shared all this stuff and I mean totally flat out snitched. I mean, I don't know how this is okay in their community, just flat out just snitch on everybody like he did. And it was one guy who exposed him for being a Mossad agent behind the scenes to Jake, oddly enough, right? So the Warner told Jake that Malik is a Mossad agent. And Jake told Malik, hey, the Warner said you're a Mossad agent. And then the Warner said, no, I didn't, never said any such thing. Jake is lying. But Jake, smart guy that he is, recorded the conversation and played it for him. And then so Malik knew that it was true. And then he declares war on the Warner. But as he's going after the Warner, he exposes everyone else. Everyone who's connected to the Warner. He starts exposing everyone else and telling about all their dirty little details and saying he has way more. And we went ahead and shared some of this. We weren't attacking him. We weren't attacking him. We were pointing out that, hey, it's good that someone actually came forward with this stuff. But he got really mad that we used that stuff that he put out on the internet. So he blamed us for using what he put out on the internet and decided to start going after people's wives. So in response to that, I ate a page of the Quran just to tell him which direction we would be going. And I told him all he has to do is apologize and we're done. Just apologize. Not to me. I don't care what you say to me. Apologize to the people you attacked. Say you were wrong and you're not going to do it again. And we're done. We're done. We would be done. But I also told him he could not do it. I also told him he could not apologize. He's incapable. Their egos are too gigantic. And so he decided instead to go to war with the world's first and only psychopathic Quran artist. Hats off to him, but 2026 is a bad way to start off 2026. It was a bad way to end 2025. Is a really bad way to start off 2026 because now it was going to be the year of us responding to like Muhammad in the Bible, but now it's going to be, in addition to that, the year of normalizing eating the Quran, feeding the Quran to animals. Quranagami is going to make a comeback. It's going to be awesome. Going to give Quranagami tutorials. You remember those? You remember the tutorials? Because
I've got lots of ideas on how to, let's say, handle Quran gently. And I've even got like friends who's got pigs. I give Quran to their pigs and they were still alive when I left. And I need to check if they are still alive. But yeah.
And yeah, for years I've been wanting to make a video. I've never made it because I only do this stuff when they cross lines. But they're crossing some serious lines right now. I wanted to make a video called 100 ways to desecrate the Quran, but it's like super rapid fire, right? Like,
Nice.
like shotgun, buzzsaw, feeding it to dogs and stuff like that. And just rapid fire, just like 2 seconds on each one, but a short video like that will be really, really shareable. And the entire thing will have Malik all over it. So Muslims know who to thank for this epic campaign of Quran desecration. Welcome to 2026, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice. Well, I think who was the person who exposed it? The Watcher guy exposed that Malik is the Mossad agent. It looks
the Warner.
Yeah, but I thought you changed. You said you changed his name to.
Oh, the Watcher. See, that's why I say I forget about this awesome stuff. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And then Hatun brings up what I said, and then I totally forgot about it. So yeah, we changed it from the Warner to the Watcher because according to Malik, the Warner, aka the Watcher, likes to sit in the corner in the chair and watch his Dawa buddies run trains on girls. This is what they do on their Dawa trips, guys. This is what they do on their Dawa trips. And they all know it behind the scenes. And if you're a new Dawa guy, because he said this about Libiano, he said this about Orthodox Lips. He said Orthodox Lips comes along and then they get him to do all the same stuff. Why? You have to. You can't be the one who's not doing the stuff or you might be the one who snitches. And so they need you to do all this stuff so they have dirt on you so that you can never expose them. So this is how massively screwed up and dysfunctional these guys are. And Malik's gonna expose me this year. So we're gonna see how this goes.
So I was gonna point out, since Wacha is the guy who said Malik guy is the Mossad agent stuff. It looks
Sorry.
like he's one, right?
Sorry, you're gonna have to repeat that because I just read a comment by Garkit Ain't No Snitch, who wants to call him the butt warner, because yeah, he's into some weird stuff. But yeah, sorry about that. Okay, what'd you say?
I cannot put that comment on.
Yeah, don't put that up there.
That's
It's true. It's true. The Warner's the guy who apparently volunteers to have stuff done to his butt as part of initiation in the various groups. So he just volunteers, like, hey, I want to join your club, but if you need me to take it up the butt to join your club, I'll do it because I'm your guy. Have me on speed dial. Anytime someone needs to take it up the butt, I'm your guy. And Hatun didn't want to put that comment on there, but I just said way more. So sorry about that.
So he's Mossad agent. He's trying to destroy Quran inside the team, I think. Okay, so I was gonna say before all these kind of things. So Jack, the metaphysician, put up a video. He's planning to kind of come to your janazah, make your janazah. It looks like there might not be janazah, depend on what he's gonna decide in coming days. So he put up a video on talking about the age of Rebecca. So now it become like very basic Muslim polemics for them to defend what their prophet did to Aisha. They need to dig into Bible and then they need to come up one of the best stupid arguments, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's their general approach is if you tell the truth about Muhammad, they'll lie about someone in the Bible. The weird part is they claim to respect all these people in the Bible, and yet they will lie about them, accuse them of the most messed up stuff anyone could think of, falsely. And this is about people that they claim to respect. And so it really exposes them that they don't have respect for any of these. They don't have respect for Jesus. They don't have respect for Mary. They don't have respect for Abraham, for Moses, for Isaac, for Rebecca. They don't have respect for any of them. They respect one person, the most obvious false prophet in history. That's the only one they respect. And they will throw literally everyone else in the universe under the bus for the sake of that one guy. That kind of should be like Exhibit A on why this guy's a false prophet.
So I guess their understanding of respect is not from the Oxford Dictionary. Let's say that. Because if you are assaulting someone, if you are butchering someone, if you are misrepresenting someone, if you are lying about someone, that is not the Oxford definition of respect.
Yeah. In other words, if I say I respect Bob, I'm probably not going to accuse him of being a pedophile and a rapist and so on. I'm probably not going to say that kind of thing about Bob if I respect him. But they'll say that about people they claim to respect in order to exonerate Muhammad in their sick minds. But that kind of shows you, like, if this is what it takes to defend your prophet, is he worth defending? If this is what it forces you to do?
Well, welcome to the world of Islam. You've been in that world for a long time. So he put up a video on talking about other Muslim guys who are using the argument of Rebecca was 3 years old when Rebecca got married. And he's pointing out this is a very bad argument. And he says, don't use it. And he's using clip from Sheikh Uthman, and in that video he's pointing out Daniel Hakikatçı, Muslim cowboy, and then Muhammad, Muslim lantern. They are all using this argument regarding Rebecca is 3 years old when Rebecca got married. So Christians, shut up! You don't have any ground to critique Muhammad's marriage with Aisha. I think that's overall kind of their point. So Jack is going through the video of Sheikh Uthman and commenting on it. I just thought we review the video and then we see what is our takeaway from that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, and I had seen that Jake had posted a video, and on the same day, I'm guessing the Muslim cowboy was responding to that because when I went on X that day, I saw the Muslim cowboy saying, okay, even if Rebecca wasn't 3, it's indisputable that she was prepubescent, so on, like complete idiotic nonsense. But I was wondering what caused him to say, well, even if she wasn't 3, it's like, what is he responding to? Because he would never say that in response to us responding to him, pointing out that there's no way she was 3. And yeah, so I think it was because Jake actually called these guys out. And really, I mean, I've seen Jake do. I mean, compared to the other Dawa guys, he's not doing anywhere near what those guys did. But like my kind of first impression of him was he kept challenging me and AP to debates, and we accepted all of them, and then he rejected all of them. And then he went around saying we're running from him and we're refusing to debate him. It's like, we agreed to every single debate you challenged us to. And then you run around saying we're running from you. And then so I did some Karanagami in response to him. I made him a Karanagami Star of David Christmas tree topper. And I told him, tell me where to send it, and I'll send it to him. He never claimed his prize. So I gave it to Isa. I gave it to Isa at last year's debate con. And so, yeah, did not have a high view of Jake, but I hadn't been paying attention to him. I only watched his debate. I think I only watched his debate with Khalil, as far as actually like really watching a debate. I've seen a couple clips, but I didn't know what to think about him except for that. And so it wasn't good. But I have to say, if he's actually calling out terrible arguments from his own group and saying, guys, this is really bad stuff, we should not be saying these sorts of things. I don't know what he's saying in the video. I know he's saying it's a bad argument, so we'll see where he goes with it. But if he's actually saying stop using really, really terrible, deceptive arguments that are attacking people in the Bible, hats off to him, because we know he's going against the crowd, because they're all for that. They love lying. If he's actually the guy who says stop lying about this, that gets him some cool points and some actual legitimate respect.
Okay, though, even though it might change your heartless heart little bit towards Jack, don't forget he's coming to the debate for your janazah. So I saw on Twitter he was saying he's gonna bury you on the debate. So don't get softened towards him. Are you ready? I'll play the clip, and then if you want me to pause it, just let me know, and then we take it from there. And then plan was towards end we kind of put the link down there if anyone wanted to call in to make case or defend this kind of arguments. You are very welcome to do so.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Jake Brancatella. And in today's episode, I'm going to discuss a somewhat popular and common argument or claim that some Muslim du'at or apologists, whatever you'd like to call them, make when dialoguing with or discussing with Christians and Jews. And it's regarding the age of Rebecca, who was married to Isaac according to the Bible. And they look at a bunch of Old Testament passages and conclude or deduce that she was only 3 years old when she married Isaac, and he was 40 years old. Now, I don't think that I've ever personally used this argument. If I ever mentioned it in passing, I certainly never made a separate video on it, but if I ever made it a comment about it in passing, then I retract those comments. I don't think that I ever have, but can't remember. But for sure, there are several, and actually many, Muslim du'at who are using this argument and making this claim. I'm going to focus on one person, but he's not alone. There are many people who have been using this. Now, I'm going to play a clip where he breaks this down, and I'm going to show you the fundamental flaw or assumption in the argumentation. Let's take a look.
I can already tell you where the fundamental flaw would be as far as the way these guys normally present it. The fundamental flaw is the end of Genesis 22, where they all say this shows that she was born at the time of the story of Abraham and Isaac, the binding of Isaac. And it's just nonsense. The Bible doesn't say it. The Bible doesn't say it. there has to be something wrong with you if you interpret it that way, because there's nowhere in the text, and you end up with some insane, absurd results if you interpret it as such. And as if that wasn't bad enough, you can actually read the encounter. You can read about the encounter with Rebecca in Genesis 24. There's just no way. If you think it was a 3-year-old girl, the words that are being used, the Hebrew words that are being used to describe her as a young woman, and so they're not used of toddlers. And it's a bunch of the words there that are not used of toddlers. And the thing she's doing is something no toddler on the planet could possibly do. And they just say it. Why do they say it? Because it's the only thing they can do to defend their fake prophet.
Yeah, it's such a strange thing. But I thought at this stage you would make a comment about his background, but I am assuming his background is like fake background, right?
It's actually funny because I was thinking that. I was thinking, hey, he's got a pretty decent background there. I wasn't thinking it was fake. I was thinking he.
I don't know if it's fake. I thought it might be fake because like it looks very, I don't know, very clean and professional.
It could be. He could be in front of a green screen and he could have made this graphic for his background, or he could have put together a background. But I have to say, if that's a real background, it looks good. Well, no complaints about his background.
Because
my only complaint is when people don't build their own stuff. See, I build my own stuff. I go to Lowe's or Home Depot. I grab a bunch of lumber and some paint, and I make my own stuff. These guys just go to IKEA and build their backgrounds.
Well, if you ever need like wooden balls and wooden stuff, just let me know. I learned how to turn wooden balls stuff, and then I write Jesus behind them stuff. It's a good way of doing evangelism stuff. But I mentioned the background because when we were doing live stream on Farid, first thing like you commented was he had a whiteboard in the backstage. And then I just thought, no, David will make a comment on this, but you didn't.
I was thinking it would be inevitable for me to I would definitely make a comment about his background at some point. But yeah. No, I was thinking it.
Let's go.
17. You guys writing this down? Good. Sarah was 90 years old when Abraham was 100. All right? Sarah was how old? 90. When Abraham was? And this is in Genesis 17:17. All right?
Yeah, pause it real quick.
17.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens, because it always happens. Notice he's being very precise with the references. Here's the verse that says this. He will be like that, because they want to put all these passages together. Because for everyone who's watching, and the Bible never mentions Rebecca's age. You have to kind of assemble it from different verses and so on. But you can't do that. It's impossible unless you lie about a passage to get all these connected. So what they do is they'll give reference, and then just say, oh yeah, and then there's no real, they'll say Genesis 22, or they'll just say nothing. They'll just state it. They'll just say, and Rebecca was born at the time that, Abraham took Isaac to the mountain, and they'll just say it. And then all of a sudden they won't give a reference. So let's go ahead and watch.
Yeah, Rebecca was born when Sarah died. So in here, one of the other things is like Sheikh Uthman doesn't hold the view that Aisha was 6 years old, right? He used to make a case that Aisha was older when Muhammad married her. But now he's telling people, this is the information, so you need to write it down when people bring Aisha's age with the in the conversations. So he's playing like two faces here.
And it's just amazing. I mean, we have over 200 Muslim sources giving the age of Aisha, and he would deny that. I don't know if he still does, but historically he would deny that.
He does, yeah.
And then he'll just flat out lie to say Rebecca was 3.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone write it down. We are getting all the ages and references from Uthman, who is not even Sheikh.
That's 1717. Ibrahim alayhi salam, or Abraham, was 100 when Isaac or Ishaq was born. How old was he? 100 when Isaac was born in accordance to Genesis 21:5.
There you have it, the reference.
Genesis 21:5.
Reference.
Okay. Sarah died at the age of 127, according to Genesis 23:1 and 2, verses 1 and 2.
Gave the reference.
How old was she? 127 years of age when she died, according to Genesis, not according to Islam. Just talking about the Bible here. Genesis 23, verses 1 and 2. Okay. Isaac, Ishaq, alayhi salam, was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, in accordance to Genesis 25:20. How old was he? 40.
Gave the reference.
Genesis 25:20, giving you evidences for all of these. Sarah was 90 when Ishaq was born. How do we know that? Concluding from 1 and 2. If Sarah was 90 when Abraham was 100, and Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born, then how old was Sarah when Isaac was born?
90.
90, right? Very clear. Ishaq or Isaac was 37 when his mother died, because 127 minus 90 equals what? 37. You guys with me? You with me or no? You see the clear verses?
We're with you.
Lost track. In number 3 that I mentioned, Sarah died at 127. And she was how old when Isaac was born? 90.
90.
So if you subtract,
So far, notice that Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk is going through all of these different texts in Genesis for how old Isaac was, and Abraham and Sarah. So far, he's given a biblical reference which explicitly states what he claims at every point. But watch what happens here. Watch the switch now for the key thing that he doesn't actually give a citation for.
Did you catch that? One, I said it was coming. And Jake, right on the money, said, guess what? He's going to not give a reference for this one. Interesting, isn't it? Smart. He's smart. He's smarter than these guys.
So it's good that they know what their brother does.
And
Watch.
really good to expose him for it.
Yeah.
The key thing that he doesn't actually give a citation for. Watch.
so if you subtract 90 from 127, what do you get? 37. So that means Isaac, according to the Bible, was 37 when his mother Sarah died. Since Isaac was 37 when his mother died, and he was 37 when Rebekah was born.
What?
Because Rebekah was born,
Reference.
Sarah died.
Reference.
There,
Reference.
that came right there.
Oh, gosh, Jake, the Muslim metaphysician, right on the money. He caught him, right? He just made, so it's claim, evidence, claim, evidence, claim, evidence, claim, evidence, claim, evidence, claim, no evidence.
That's
Why? Why? Because there is none. There's zero. It doesn't say it.
But it's good that he was giving like maths lesson to his students, and he gave the references. Everyone write down the references, and then the most important reference is gonna come. Oops, no, it didn't make it. It didn't make it.
Yep. And the math doesn't work without it.
Yeah.
Rebekah was born when Sarah died.
There, that claim right there. I want you to listen again. Notice he's given a biblical text so far for pretty much every claim he's made up until this point. Listen closely again.
Isaac was 37 when his mother died, and he was 37 when Rebekah was born.
He just said that Isaac was 37 when Rebekah was born. Did he give a biblical citation for that? No, he didn't. And you will see that he doesn't. That's the key claim. And also now watch the second part.
Right? Because Rebekah was born when Sarah died.
His proof for that, he says, right, because Rebekah was born when Sarah died. The assumption is that Rebekah was born at the time that Sarah died, which at that time, Isaac was 37, and that they got married 3 years after his mother, Sarah, died. So therefore, Rebecca had to be 3. But notice he did not give a biblical citation for that. He said that Isaac was 37 when Rebecca was born. He didn't give a biblical citation for that.
Because there is none.
And then his explanation was because Rebecca was born at the same time that Sarah, his mother, died. But where's the biblical reference for that? He didn't give it. I'll explain where the assumption is and why it's a very flawed assumption on many levels.
Yes, it is.
Very flawed.
And we know, end of Genesis 22, everyone. That's where it is. And I assume that's where Jake's going.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, what does that mean? That means that Isaac was 40 when he married Rebecca. Huh? How old was he when she was born? 37. He married her at 40. Huh? So Rebecca would be how old? 3 years old.
Look at this. And the whole
verses from the Bible itself.
His whole,
If you want to talk about child marriage,
all his followers,
Yeah.
the product of 40 generations of first cousin marriage, none of them, it didn't cross any of their minds. Wait a minute. You just said something and didn't give a reference. Can we get the reference? Notice no one's hand goes up and said, wait a minute, you just made a claim. There's no reference for it. What verse is it? What verse is that? You gave verses for everything else. What's the verse for that? Doesn't cross any of their minds. And he tells them, nope, it's 40 minus 37. What's that? 3. There it is. Every last one of them, they just believe what their idiot Dawa guy says.
And this Dawa guy is saying like, I give reference for everything, see? I give you reference for everything, see? But even that's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie. He didn't, but he knows if he says it, his followers are stupid enough to go along with it.
Yeah, sad, isn't it?
It's extremely sad, but he knows his audience. He knows his audience, and that's why he knows that if he squirts some fake blood on himself, the Islamophobes got me. They stabbed me, but I will not stop my powerful dawah. They'll fall for it like idiots.
Oh. Okay, stop sharing screen. This happens.
It happens. Technical issues happen with all these
It
programs.
shouldn't happen. But it happens almost every time. How to never learns. Let's try again.
Uh-oh. Back it up a little bit. See what happens. Let's back it up 2 seconds. There we go. Oh, still not working. You see, this is the proof.
This is genius, David.
Allah has cursed their live stream. They can never expose Sheikh Uthman.
Well, we are not exposing Sheikh Uthman. Who is exposing not Sheikh Uthman? Muslim is exposing, right? Muslim is telling, well, what's happening to you? You told us you are giving references, but for the core of your argument, there is no reference. That's like sad.
Zero. I mean, think about that, right? So there are two possibilities here. Either Sheikh Uthman is too stupid to realize that he was giving reference, then claim with no reference. Either he's too dumb or he knew exactly what he was doing and he was deliberately lying to his followers. He's deliberately lying to his followers about Isaac and Rebecca and Abraham. Abraham's part of this because Abraham's the one who sends his servant out to go get the wife. If Abraham sent his servant out to get her a 3-year-old wife, okay, then Abraham is implicated. And Moses is the one who's writing this, so Moses is implicated. So Sheikh Uthman knowingly lied about Moses, Abraham, Isaac, and Rebecca.
So, your first kind of, poor innocent Sheikh Uthman won't work for me either. It only works, okay, for those white Minnesotans. Not for, and looks like for Muslims. But for the second one, yeah, he's intention lying. Because he was reading simply from laptop screen, right? And he's telling people, reference, did you write it down? number did you write it down? Did you take off that number from that number? He's simply reading like dot by dot from something. And you think, oh, he didn't pull together, oh, that doesn't have a reference. Probably he write big writings like, you are going to lie, give full attention. And then he just did that.
Mm-hmm.
Other option is he thinks everyone is white Minnesotans.
37 when Rebecca was born. He didn't give a biblical citation for that. And then his explanation was because Rebecca was born at the same time that Sarah, his mother, died. But where's the biblical reference for that? He didn't give it. I'll explain where the assumption is and why it's a very flawed assumption on many levels.
So, what does that mean? That means that Isaac was 40.
See, even this part, he's reading from the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything is from the computer. This is my first time I'm going to talk about it. I write it down. I don't want to make any mistakes, even though I am teaching you very basic maths here. I'm going to read it, and I am intentionally going to lie to you people. You don't need to watch out for that. Just trust me, bro.
Mm-hmm. Trust me. I'm
Yeah.
going to lie to you
Yeah.
about Abraham, Isaac, Rebecca, and Moses, and the whole Bible.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's all justified because I'm using all these lies about people we claim to respect, prophets we claim to respect. I'm using it all to defend Muhammad having sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old girl. And therefore it's all justified. That's their thinking.
When he married Rebecca, how old was he when she was born? 37. He married her at 40. So Rebecca would be how old? 3 years old. It's all verses from the Bible itself.
Ooh.
If you want to talk about child marriages, let's talk about it.
Ooh. Look at him smiling. Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Dude, hey, Sheikh Uthman, why don't we debate it, man? Why don't we debate that topic? Step up like a man for once in your life.
Bad, isn't it? Like, I admire how people have a courage to speak when they have no knowledge, or when they know everyone is like, I'm going to lie to everyone and people are going to believe me. That's like admirable.
Something
Hey, hang on. I think that background's real.
Why do you think
Because
that?
one, it matches the background matches the table beside him. There's that, and it's got those little LED strips that you can order from Amazon, and he's put them on there and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's real. I don't think you'd be making a fake background on Photoshop or something like that, and you put the little LED strip across there and stuff. You can even see like right under his 100,000 button from his old channel. It's kind of like drooping, a little bit. So yeah, I think that's authentic. Looks authentic to me.
It looks too clean and like I would expect like more books and little bit messier version of it. But if you made it good, or if you bought it good,
Oh, he bought it, but
originals are good.
Dawah tool, guys. Not at all, not when he is given a reference for everything he says, up until the point where he makes the big claim that Isaac was 37 when Rebecca was born, when Sarah died. He didn't give any biblical reference for that. Why? Why is that? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know any better, but I'll show you where this idea comes from. So as you can
Maybe he doesn't know any better. He's been on the like Dawah scene for how long? Only a couple of decades, right? And he's been traveling around the world. Maybe he doesn't know any better.
see here, this is Genesis 22. And if you scroll down to the bottom, or if you go to the bottom of the chapter, it mentions in verse 20, so Genesis 22:20, now it came about after these things that Abraham was told, saying, behold, Milcah also has borne children to your brother Nahor. Uz, his firstborn, Buz, his brother. And it continues on, naming all of these people. This is what they're telling Abraham, right? And then in verse 23, it says, and it was Bethel who fathered Rebekah. So all these different names are being listed and who they're the son of and how they're related to Abraham, and all of this is being discussed, right? But does it say anything about how old Isaac was here when Rebekah was born in this passage? No, it doesn't mention anything about it, right? And then if we go to Genesis 23, verse 1, it says, now Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Sarah died, and blah, 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 and continues on. So the assumption is that Genesis 23, verse 1, and Genesis 22, verse 23, when Rebekah was born, happened at the exact same time. The assumption is that when Rebekah was born in the previous chapter, all of a sudden, when Sarah dies at the beginning of the next chapter, that must be at the same time that Rebekah was born. But why should we assume that at all? There could have been a gap of time in between this discussion and this passage here, because this happens quite frequently in the biblical text, that you can have a time jump, in just a few verses. And this is evident because notice when Abraham is being told these things, he's being told about all of these different children being born. And obviously they weren't all born on the same day. So obviously there's some sort of time difference between this. It wasn't that she was born on the exact same day that Sarah died. And why should we even assume that it's the same month or same year? There's nothing.
Or same decade.
Yeah, same decade.
Yeah, there's no basis in the text. Okay, for everyone, and by the way, everyone needs to, definitely this year, everyone needs to just familiarize yourself with the end of Genesis 22, because we have to silence them on this nonsense. And fortunately, Jake's actually calling them out. And it's actually good for him, because this will be destroyed. This nonsense will be destroyed one way or another. And it's just a real bad look for Dawa if all you guys are on the same page lying, and then it gets exposed by Christians. If you expose something yourself, then we could say, okay, not all these guys are lying. There are some people who are telling the truth about this issue. So
I remember talking about these topics 6-7 years ago, but it was just new to the speakers corner stuff, and only thing they want to do is to prove, well, it is okay, Muhammad did it, so others did it too. It was in that sense. And then last couple of years, it just become everyone is talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
They just make it so, I don't know, trust me bro style.
Yeah, they just say it. And that's what's really, just imagine that, where you can just make up a flat out lie about people you claim to respect in your religion, and then the entire community just goes along with it. That shows that the community, because guess what? When your average Muslim, on X, with 10 followers or something like that, says this, I don't assume he's lying. I'm assuming the best, and he heard this from one of his Dawa guys who are lying, and he just believes it because he trusts these guys. So he's not deliberately being deceptive, even though he's passing on what is indisputably a lie. But notice, if the entire Dawa community just instantly accepts flat out lies about people they claim to respect, what's that mean? It means they'll believe any idiotic thing, no matter how stupid, no matter how deceptive, no matter how demonic. They'll just accept it unquestioningly and spread it around the world. And if that's what you're telling us is your religion's got some problems.
I remember a couple of months ago, Mohammed Hijab was commenting on something, and then he said, all I did was dropping the information. Oh, Rebecca was 3, let them deal about it. He know it's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He knows it's very bad argument, and he still chooses to use, and his followers goes and use it. And in here, Mr. Sheikh no Sheikh Utman is like telling people, here's the information. That's all you need to do is write down these numbers, make the calculations. This is the conclusion you are reaching. Here's the references for you. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to give you the essential reference. Like, bad, isn't it? Like,
Evil.
let me see if he's going to say something more useful.
In the text. It's just a pure assumption that when Sarah dies a few verses later, Rebecca must have been born at the exact same time. There is nothing explicit in the text to demonstrate that. Now, is it possible? Is it even remotely possible? I guess you could say it's very remotely possible, but there's no textual indicators that demonstrate that. And in fact, in other chapters later, there are things about Rebecca and the way that she's described when she gets married that don't seem consistent with her being 3 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
I think
So
he's
smart.
been listening Christians. He's been listening Christians.
Yeah, he is. I'm praising him for being right on the money here. I don't know if he researched this himself or he watched a bunch of our videos and stuff, but yeah, that's when he was saying remotely possible. I was like, well, actually, given the description of her, in order for that to work, you have to say they were using all these Hebrew words in the wrong way, and that she was she's basically the She-Hulk of toddlers. And so if you're not willing to grant that, then yeah, which we wouldn't be willing to grant, that she's the She-Hulk of toddlers.
That would make her better than Muhammad and better than Aisha. Think about it. Aisha couldn't even find her home back when they left her behind at the war, right? She had to wait there until like someone comes and picks her up. Versus 3 years old, this giant Rebecca is like able to give water to 10 camel. Like one camel.
Aisha.
Yeah.
And Aisha, she's still just, at 9 years old, she's still just sitting around playing with dolls.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 3-year-old Rebecca is out there doing the work of a grown man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you mentioned the 10 camels. Hang on, I always forget this. How much water can a camel drink?
It's almost 50 liters.
This one says 150.
Yeah, like I have seen camels, like amount of water they drink, it's like lots of water. And she's like, how many camel there are? 10 camel. So you said 150.
Yeah, this says a camel can drink a massive amount of water at once, often cited as up to 40 gallons, 150 liters in just a few minutes to rehydrate after long periods without drinking. So 40 gallons in just a few minutes. So, I mean, keep in mind, she has to be going back and forth. She didn't carry up 40 gallons. Right? She's got some sort of water jar, which is already pretty heavy because they're made of like clay back then and so on, baked clay. So she's got a water jar, and so 40 gallons. I mean, what could a 3-year-old carry inside an already heavy water jar? Let's suppose like really, really, really strong toddler, she can carry 2 gallons. So that's 20 trips for each camel, just for what the camel would need in a few minutes. So
and like
20 trips. So 10 camels, 200 trips. 200 trips. This 3-year-old made. Strong girl.
And 50 liter is like very heavy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I have seen in chat, like people would bring drinking water because like they don't have running water, and then they bring like this big bottle that is like 50 liter. It is very heavy. You need to ask man to just like bring it inside. And that's the same bottle that they would give it to the camels for camels to drink. It's pretty heavy. So you are telling me 3 times of that times 10. She has to go back, come back, go back, come back. It's like so heavy. This like 3 years old Rebecca probably has the hugest, what is this thing called? Arm thing?
Shoulders?
No.
Biceps?
Yeah, she must have the like biggest bicep stuff.
Yeah, people have made a lot of AI pictures of a 3-year-old with just the biggest arms ever.
Yeah. Anyway, let me see if he's going to say anything else.
Absolutely, definitively that she was 10 years old or 15. I don't know how old she was. The text doesn't explicitly say how old she was when she got married to Isaac, because it doesn't even tell you how old she was when Sarah died. She didn't have to be 1 month old when Sarah died. She could have been 10 years old when Sarah died. In which case, if they got married 3 years after that, then she would be 13. We don't know. The text doesn't actually say. So just as we want Christians and Jews and outsiders who are investigating Islam or maybe even critiquing it, just as we want them to be fair with our texts, they should expect the same thing with us. And just because you may be able to point to a particular rabbi, a video of him saying this, or in midrashic traditions or anything like that, I'm not going into that. I'm not disputing that. There may be some Jews and some rabbis that held this position, but there's nothing explicit in the text that demonstrates that. And we want to use the best arguments. We want to use the best evidences. We shouldn't be using things that could be critiqued in this way to say that we are making such a logical leap. Now, it's not only Sheikh Uthman ibn Farouk that is using this argument. Brother Muhammad Ali from Muslim Lantern uses this argument. So-called Muslim Cowboy Brandon uses this argument.
He said so-called.
Pikachu uses this argument. Many of these different guys.
Hijab.
Yeah, he didn't give hijab's name, but he went after others. Hakikachi, Lentil, Muslim Cowboy guy, and Sheikh Uthman. I thought when I first saw this, main reason he's responding them is not because he thinks their argument is bad. I just thought because those people didn't put their name on 34 people who went after Daniel Hakikachi. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought, but I don't know. I don't know. Sake of the argument. If you are so generous and so doing trust me bro thing, and Rebecca is like 3 years old, still that doesn't make what Muhammad did right. Rebecca is not the example I am supposed to follow. Isaac is not the example I am supposed to follow. I look at them and then I'm just like, wow, my God is very kind and gracious. This is how we see God's grace. Muslims look at Muhammad and then, yep, we need to make sure we find the garlic. He's eating, so we eat the garlic. Like dot to dot, follow him. He didn't like the garlic, but anyway, that's the point kind of I was making.
Pretty crazy. And what's interesting is if Jake had come along like 5 or 6 years ago and posted this and actually exposed it and they weren't to use it, we might not be running with the Zut story right now, because it was that, and it was them lying about, Mary and the Catholic Encyclopedia and stuff. It was just a handful. It was a couple things like that where we exposed them to the point where we know they know it's a lie, and they kept sharing it. And it's okay. You guys are knowingly, deliberately lying about, again, Abraham, Isaac, Rebecca, Moses. You're deliberately lying about all of them. Mary, Jesus, you're lying about everyone. And you know it, and it's okay, and it's justified to you. And so you can't just tell them stop saying it because it's wrong. They don't believe it's wrong. They believe it's fine to lie about all these people. They think it's okay to lie about people they claim to respect if it's somehow going to defend Muhammad, the real like foundation of their religion. And so you can't convince them that it's wrong. They think it's fine. And so realizing this, it's okay. If you can't, if showing them that it's wrong and that they're lying is irrelevant, then all you can do, and this is just my long experience with double guys, the only thing you could do is show them that there are consequences. Show them that there are consequences. And so I told them, I actually spent a couple of years warning them, guys, stop with the lies. I'm giving you every opportunity to stop with the lies. If you don't stop with the lies, I'm not going to tell people to lie in response to you, but I will start going through these embarrassing stories in your sources where you always expect us to give you the benefit of the doubt and to give the most charitable interpretation, even if it sounds really messed up. You expect us to be extremely charitable. And I said, we're not going to be charitable. We're just going to go with what it sounds like, or like the most messed up interpretation and so on. That's what we're going to go with. We're not going to be charitable at all. And they still kept running with it. And so now they will never get away from zut jokes. Islam's not going to last 1,000 years, but if it did last 1,000 years from now, people would still be telling zut jokes. Why? All because of this. All because they couldn't stop lying. So I think Jake is actually he's significantly wiser than these guys. These guys are whatever I can say in the moment to score some cheap points with my idiot followers, do it. Whereas Jake seems to be thinking, I mean, he could just be thinking in terms of right and wrong. It's wrong for us to be deceptive in our argumentation. But even just practically speaking, it's really bad if you say these things that are convincing to your stupid followers, but everyone else looks at you and says, these guys are compulsive liars. You don't want the entire Dawa community to get the reputation as the biggest bunch of liars the world has ever seen, which is the reputation they're getting. And so I think Jake is significantly wiser than the rest of these guys, saying we can't let that happen. So it's going to hurt because now I'm calling out Sheikh Uthman and stuff like that. So there's going to be some backlash, but someone's got to do it. So anyway, smart.
So you don't think Jack is working for Mossad?
I mean, anything's possible. But I mean, no, seriously, if he were working for Mossad, I would expect him to keep pushing the lie, because that's what destroys the Dawa community. So Jake is really the only one we can say probably not a Mossad agent. The other guys, you can always be suspicious because they're all destroying Islam from within.
Why do you say Al-Zut is joke? Because like that something Muhammad experienced. I don't think he was like laughing after it. He was in pain stuff. So how come it become a joke?
Well, it's because it's such a weird story. You kind of can't figure out what's going on. And are these actual men, the men of Al-Zut, or Muslims interpret it as jinn who look like the men of Al-Zut and so on? I have to say, neither one makes it much better, because then, Muhammad is getting banged by a bunch of jinn, which also sounds creepy and stuff. The point is, it's such a weird story that you could be charitable with it and just, I don't know what the heck this is saying. It's a weird story. I don't know what's going on there. But it sounds like, if you just read the story, it sounds like something really messed up happened with Muhammad out there. And then you have to figure out why. What's he doing out there? And why are these Zut riding him all night long and stuff? It doesn't sound good, especially when the Arabic word, if you're using it of an animal, it means like riding around, like riding a horse, but they actually used it to describe a husband having sex with his wife, and he would ride her and stuff. That's the word they use. So if it's a person, another person, it's used for sex. And so it sounds really, really bad, but we're kind of like trained all our lives to be charitable in how we interpret things. And so you'd say, okay, it sounds bad, but it could be this other thing, or maybe we're just missing something here and it's not what it sounds like. We don't know. We're kind of trained to be charitable. And it's like, okay, if you guys are going to give like completely insane lies, then no charitable. Don't tell us to be charitable at all, ever again.
I heard that it made it into the dictionary or something, Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, the Urban Dictionary. It's now in the Urban Dictionary. Zooted. You say, oh, this guy got zooted.
Good. Very good. Very good. Let me take some super chats before we finish. Thank you very much for your generosity. This song is my jam. What song?
One of the songs you played at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, David. See? Teamwork. Hi, Hatun and David. David, is my reputation safe? How funny.
Yeah, you're okay. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Jonathan, did he do something? Is that the person who you are getting the tickets?
Wait, who was that?
Jonathan.
Mm-mm.
No, okay. Thank you very much. David, you need to send AP's abundant rosary to Mossad Malik. He's going to need it.
Oh, yeah.
God bless you.
Yeah, Mossad Malik, he's in It's going to be a bad year for Mossad Malik. This is going to be what he's remembered for forever. My goodness.
I've got lots of ideas on how we can set up like distraction of the Quran.
I
I
have lots
love-
of ideas too. You just put us together. Just put us together. We get together for a weekend on near some farm and stuff like that. And
What the-
I like tools. There are other people who like firearms, things like that. But yeah, there are lots of things to do.
For a can of Flex Seal, I heard it stops Malik's.
Malik's. Oh yeah, he's playing on the term leak, like leaks, like he sprung a leak. Yeah, Flex Seal. You seal up leaks with that.
Okay, I don't think that's gonna save him though.
No, it's not.
What are my thoughts on Mike Vinga?
That he's the worst person in the world. It's everyone's opinion on him.
I don't think I can say that because Bible tells me I've got to love him, David.
You can say someone is the worst person in the world and you still love him. I mean, I've said that I can say, reluctantly, mind you, that I love Mike Winger. Why? Because I'm commanded, love your enemies.
I don't say he's my enemy yet. And I don't think
you
I should
will.
be loving your enemies.
You will just meet him and talk to him for like 10 seconds.
He's got great content. Check it out. Don't get confused with David Wood and him. I don't know why people get that confused, but check his content out. God bless you too. Where to watch David Wood and Uthman's debate?
That'll be tomorrow, 4 p.m. on my channel.
Okay, so who is the moderator?
Oh, nothing. We just told him to call in. That's how he rolled.
And you think he's gonna call in?
No, I think he's going to make an excuse and not. And so we're just gonna keep doing the show over and over again. Okay, well he backed out this time, but guess what? He'll be on next time, and we'll start up next time, and he'll make an excuse there and run. And so, I mean, he could shock me and actually like show up, but we'll see.
Okay, just a practical thing. I don't know how many people you can have in Ecamm, but make sure you are recording your screen in the backstage, because last thing you need is him to say like, oh, I called in and there was not enough space for me to get in. I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the reasoning.
No. I'm only giving him the link, so I'm not inviting a ton of people. I'm inviting one person, because that sort of happened like when he said, "Oh, just call in." It's, me and God Logic were like, "We're not playing games, dude. We're not calling into your. You don't challenge us to a debate. We accept the debate. You reject the debate, and then you go live with a bunch of other Muslims and say, okay, call into our live stream." That's just a call-in show. It's just a random call-in show. But Than, Inspiring Philosophies buddy, Than did try to call in, and at first he couldn't get in, and then he was in, and then it dropped him somehow. But he couldn't even get in. So yeah, I didn't want to have that sort of stupid situation. So I sent him the link, and he will call in tomorrow, unless he decides to run like a coward.
Maybe he works for Mossad. Say that he will turn up. That was him to rotate their argument.
That's how we will know. If he runs, he is clearly a Mossad agent.
Yeah, Israel paid him. With this,
little side note. That would also be why. I mean, Malik was exposing everyone, and these guys all roll on their dawah trips with Sheikh Uthman, right? And then Malik, the Mossad, that dude, I had a vote, and it was like 72% said this guy's obviously Mossad. Because he's like he ended last year by completely destroying like half the da'is out there, and like exposing them for drugs, running trains on girls and stuff like that. And then he starts this year by like demanding, flat out demanding an entire year of Quran desecration and so on. So, okay, obviously Mossad agent. And that's what made him flip out. He was okay with everything else, anything else anyone could do, until you say he's a Mossad agent. And then he was ready for war. But even though he kept saying all these guys, all of them do this, all of them. Oh, I'm the only one who doesn't. I do. And then he said, but I won't say anything about Sheikh Uthman. Okay, maybe he's the other Mossad agent. You guys are working together.
Dawa seem to rotate their arguments. With the Islamic dilemma, you are all a few strides ahead. Dean on IP tries his hardest to divert from the dilemma. It's actually causing very much stress among Muslims, and they're trying to figure out how to answer. And if I understand correctly, best answer is to not engage with them, don't call into the streams. So that's the best argument they have. And they're working on their arguments these days as well. I think it's been for 2 years now. John 17 is their argument. So they kind of play with that one, and then they wait us to bring up Islamic dilemma, and they can't solve it. Sad days. Happy New Year, David Wood and Hatun. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, this is the gentleman who asked me about my view on Mike Wingers. Hey, at least his background doesn't have $30 Walmart guitar. Lit up gummy bear jar, and a question number counter.
Yeah,
Is that Walmart?
he's saying his at least Jake's background doesn't have the $30. Yeah, he's describing Mike Winger's background, which is pretty terrible.
Well, I don't think we are doing good friendship buildings with him.
Not trying.
No, I was talking about the person who was asking the question.
Mhm.
You already told me you are told to love your enemies.
Mhm.
So we can't do anything about it. Thank you very much for your generosity and your comment. I have greatest savior, that's all. Their maths is wrong. When someone dies after somebody was born, it doesn't mean time stands still. Time stands. That doesn't mean for us. It doesn't mean for them. Think about these are Muslims, okay? So when somebody dies after somebody was born, it doesn't mean time stands still for the living. They no longer share the same time. This is funny, no?
It's not as funny as it is to you. I mean, I haven't seen you laugh this hard since a bunch of Somalis got billions of dollars, a bunch of dumb white people.
But that was so funny. Come on. I just don't that was so funny. This is funny too. Thank you. Finally, David is streaming with Cool Turk. AP is cool too. I'm the most humble one though. Is Jack another Mossad agent?
No, we already exonerated Jake. It's extremely unlikely that Jake is a Mossad agent. The only way he could even be a Mossad agent is if this is the time when they want massive division in the Dawa community.
Since when the Dawa boys tells the truth? They lie so much, even they believe their own lies. Yep. Not only they believe in their own lies, they teach their own lies, believing that's truth. That's like painful. The background is Sahih. Yeah, I think David was right on that. It's just like looks very clean, very clean. Islam is an ideology dying to prove lies. You've got point there. Rebecca or Rebecca?
Chad is a word for like a strapping lad.
Okay. So how would an adult water those many camels? How would an adult water those camels? Adult can do it. The child.
Yeah, if that's what you do every day, you water animals and bring water to people, you'd get used to it. Our complaint is that a 3-year-old would not be able to do that.
But 20 years old would be able to do that. 15 years old would be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you start with one camel, you start helping your brother, your sister, and the time goes on. But they are very heavy water bottles. I have seen they're not even water bottles. I don't know what barrels or something.
Yeah.
They are very big.
And the issue is that's kind of the point. It's that she did a ton of work. She put a ton of work in just to be generous to a traveler, right? So the traveler shows up and, hey, can I get some water? Hey, I'll water your camels too. That's her saying, I'm doing a ton of work to help you.
Yeah.
That's kind of the sign. Wow, this is a really, really noble, good person to be willing to do that for a stranger.
So that makes it worse why Muslims are comparing her with Muhammad, because Muhammad is like rat comparing her, right? I didn't mean to insult the rats there. I don't know what you are talking about. My 3 years old daughter renovated my entire house alone and often yields the strength of 100 men. So she's destroying the house. Just take all the toys. And basic principle is you treat your kids the way Israel treats Hamas. Otherwise, the world is going to be very harsh to your kids. Right, David? Yeah. Rebecca had a strength of 30, even
without the zut.
Even like this story kind of gets into Zut comment. Please research Abbasian roots of Islam and Quran. Okay, what do you want us to focus? I think there are already videos and books are written about it. It is not in my schedule. I don't know about David's. But thank you for the advice, though. What is so funny about my real mathematics? I need to find your previous comments to figure out. I read them and then I move on. MDD, Islam is best for women.
I'm looking that up right now. That was apparently 2 days ago. Debate, Islam is better for women than Western values. Grace Manar versus Counterpoints and Mahlij. Interesting. Didn't even see that happen.
We can check that out. So MDD stands for Modern Day Debate. Right?
Modern Day Debate, yeah. Yeah, it popped up. It was 2 days ago.
Okay. We can check that out. Islam offers lots of things to women, lots of things, but not value, not dignity, not honor, and not life. But all other things are okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for your generosity. David, your last thoughts. So you've got debate tomorrow. We should be praying for your debate.
Yeah, powerful debate with Sheikh Uthman tomorrow. And then on the 31st, Malik is trying to cancel Jake's debates because he's just saying, hey, this entire year should be nothing but Quran desecration, whereas Jake wants to actually engage in debates. So officially, me and AP are both scheduled to debate Jake on the 31st. I pointed out to Jake that if he wants to cancel, he should do it quickly because that will give James time to get some other debates in there and so on. But yep, we'll see what happens. Don't know if Jake's going to stand his ground or if he's going to go along with Malik. I have to say, given what Malik has already done and what he's causing 2025 and 2026, I would not want to let him be calling the shots because this is about to be bad all year.
When is your debate? When debate's supposed to take place?
The 31st.
Of January?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. If the men are distracted with the Zud, it may be. As a mom of 5, I love Hatun's parenting style. Yep, treat your kids the way Israel should be treating Hamas. And don't call me after that when police comes over them. Okay, we will stop here. David, thank you very much for joining me, especially after having 2 hours live stream to deal with Mr. Mossad Malik. You made yourself available and then came and dealt with Sheikh Uthman. Painful days, but these are what their arguments are. So hopefully next week we will have something more useful, and we will be praying for you for your debate. Mainly Utman to turn up, be brave man, so he can turn up. This was. We will see you on another live stream. God bless you. Come on, David. That was so funny. That